Earnings tax is, number one, it's a fair tax. Number two, it is because it's only imposed on people who are actually earning a living. Doesn't tax retirement, doesn't tax people who are unemployed, doesn't tax pensions. So it's only those who rely on the city of this great economic engine that we have in the city for their livelihood. Number two, it's paid for close to 50% by people who do not live in the city, but use our city services on a daily basis during the work week. And you use our streets, rely on our police and fire. So in that sense, it's a very fair tax.
So would you encourage people to vote in support of it?
Absolutely. I think Kansas City voters are smart enough to figure out if you have a tax that provides your basic services and it's half paid for by people who don't live in the city, and you'll either lose those services or have to pay for them another way, I think they're pretty smart. Well, it's not a pretty picture because we would lose $20 million a year each year for 10 years until it goes away entirely. And there are only two ways to make up for that. One is either reduction in services, hiring freeze and eventually layoffs, or fee increases. And in particular, our earnings tax was originally brought about to pay for trash collection. So that would probably become fee-based, and then the rest of the cuts would be draconian.
Have you thought about certain areas that you would cut or certain fees that you would raise?
Well, I mentioned trash.
Mm-hmm.
And because, like I say, that's what brought about the original earnings tax. Started off as a half cent, and approved by the voters. It was later approved by the voters to raise it to a full cent. So it has been voter approved, as some people tend to forget. So it's across the board services that would suffer. Some of our community center fees, some of our golfing fees. Even that's not enough to make up for $20 million a year for 10 years. We're looking at drastic reduction in services, or going back to the voters and with some different form of tax.